Hello everyone, we are through with setting up the quiz and then previewing the quiz. Now we want to get some duplications done, that is varying the questions per the number of students you want, or per number of students you have, sorry. We are going to do this duplication using the Python software, where we want to regenerate an XML file to upload. In this case, the new XML file will contain the number of questions we've generated against the original one question. So what is the way to go? With some few corrections to be done, you have to know which part of the question you want to vary, and then indicate the form of variation you want. Do you want integers? Do you want raw numbers? What do you want to have? And so you open a Python environment, which I'm using the VScode. It's a very good editor for so many things. We'll run a Python file which will generate an HTML file for upload. And so that is what we are going to do. Let's quickly get started. So I need my LaTeX interface first. I would want to duplicate the numerical part of the question. And so what I did was to open a new file, pasted all these things in. That means I'll close this close for now. In place of the derivative here, I made it num duplicate. It means a numerical duplicate. I copied there was a numerical part. I copied this part and then pasted it in my quiz here. So I need just that question alone to duplicate. And so I save and then I run. I will have the output as this. Okay, now let's open our VS Code. How many questions do you want to have with this particular numerical? So I need my VS Code. This is the VS Code interface. If I should open a folder, I want to open my model set folder, which will have so many files it has generated from the LaTeX file or from the text file. You have all these files in. So I have to look out for the num duplicates XML file. I would have uploaded this and then get just one question, but that's not what I'm doing now. So I will rename it to py, that's a Python file, and I open that. You see I have so many errors because the extension is now Python. It means something must be done. Take note of the corrections or the few changes I will make. That's especially this begin and end quiz here. I have a file called default. Because I don't want to type so many things, I have a default file here which contains this syntaxes as setting up a new file. It has begin file and then it has the end file. That is all. And I also have a function that will help me do the duplication. I call the function start. I have to open the function or a file, make it writable, just as that. And then when I come to this line, this is where the duplication starts. I want some range of numbers where the variations will happen to certain parameters in the question. Now when I open the new file, I'll have to write these new questions into it and append. So for the number of questions I generate here, it would append itself into the file. And then I run the file using this function. So I just have these default files there which I would copy and paste into things. So let me just close this whole tab and maintain this. So this one, I would replace it with the whole of these functions right up here. It is just begin file. I can just copy this one. Have it here. And then I have the ending file. But I don't want to do that. I just want to copy everything here. And then paste it right from the quiz to the XML file. And I realize that the end quiz is here. It means that I have to get down here and delete this end quiz. Okay, And then you also know that in Python there would be an importation of models, and for now I don't know which models I'll need, but I know how to do something. Okay, now let's move on with the changes. And I have to type in, I need some definition of a function. This is where my Python codes come in. We write a code to solve the question, and with Python it's always definition of any function key. Now I'm very particular with the naming of files. I always want to use the same name for all my files to make it easier to locate. Then you have to have a semicolon for Python. That's where the indentation starts. So I have question equals to this f here, so I'm naming my question as f. When I do that, it is taking it as a string, so I have to end the string with the same 3 quotation and then return the question. So these are the things I would always do. Now this needs some indentation. Okay, so realize that all the errors are gone. The next thing is, what are you varying in the question? So I want the student to solve as many as it can be solved here. So I want to replace this by some a. It means I'm varying that portion of the question. Now look at the syntax here. The default grade for the question is 1. If you want to change, you can do that. Now the penalty here means that if the student gets it wrong, there's a deduction of marks, and so you can set this to 0 or leave it as it is. That is if you want some penalties. The answer with the 100 format is 2. And so you realize that since I have changed the question, the answer would also change to something as answer. Now if you're receiving some changes or something, you use the curly bracket. So I have curly bracket a, curly bracket answer. What is the answer here? For now I don't know. Okay, so I go back to this default function and now run or copy the duplication part of it and then paste it after the question. So let's check it out. The file name, I would always use the same name throughout to make it easier for me to identify. So open, I have to make the changes here and then here as well. Every file name now takes the same name here. What else here? Okay, so for range 1 to I, this means I'm generating just one question. Which variables am I changing? It's just one variable, the a, so I need to comment. I don't even need these ones in. I don't need this new a, new b, new c. I just have the new a. So you come here and then make the necessary changes. For now I've not set any values to it. So now I go back to the question and says, what values do you want your question to take? And so I need it to be some random integers, so I have to import the random integers. So from random import run in. These things you can search them online to get. This is Python, so it means I come down here, it will be run int of what values. It means from 2 to let's say 10 or 5. Give me values, random integers from 2 to 5. Now that is not, I'm not done. Don't forget you're looking for some answer and some a. A has been defined, so it is okay, but answer hasn't been defined. You realize that for this particular question, whatever this will be, the prime would be a. So sometimes you want to be smart at it, so my function takes a value a and the answer is always a. You want to be smart at it and then get things done. Or someone will say, no, I want to solve a Python, I want to write a code to solve it. So it means that my y is equal to some a times x. There's some problem, you say x is not defined. It means I want to have x as a symbol. The only way to do that is to import symbol in Python. So I have from SymPy import symbols, then I can use it here. So x equal to some symbols of what, x, but answer is not a now, so I want y prime, that is a derivative. You know, in Python, if I want to find derivative, it is the function dot diff respect to the variable x, and so it means my answer will be the y prime. I can print this answer and see what I'm getting, or print a and then the answer, because they must go hand in hand. So if I run this, I have 3 3. As you can see, this is the answer. A is 3, the answer is 3. I'm getting just one answer because over here I specified 1 to 2 as a range. If I have it as 3, it means I'm generating 2 questions. So the A is 2, the answer is 2. A is 4, answer is 4. If I make it 10 here, what is going to happen? It means I'm generating 9 questions. Let me run that. See, so A is 4, the answer is 4. You realize that there are some duplications. Now I don't need to print A. Let me just print the answers, or even the question, because I need A. Fine. You realize that there are repetitions in the A. Why? Not the answer, but the A itself. This is because I'm generating 9 questions with some little range for the A, 2 to 5 integers. So it means I can get 2, 3, 4, 5. It means just 4 numbers here, and I'm setting 10 questions from it. This is where the issue is. So if you want large number of questions, it means that your range of values must also increase. I could make this 17, and then it will never repeat. There will be no repetitions. Okay. So now I'm good to go. So I can just print answer as I expect. Let me reduce this to, let me say I need just 5 questions out of this, where it will run from 2 to 17. I will have no repetitions. I have no repetitions in the question. Okay. So that's how the duplication is done. Whatever you do, it takes effect here, and then it takes effect here. Now we can upload. The new XML file is now non-duplicate XML. So let me upload this in my model. I already have my page here, and so I import. Let me get the file ready. What are we importing? XML file. What is the name of the file? Okay, it is non-duplicate XML, so I paste it here. Don't forget we are importing some number of questions. Now 4 questions generated out of one file. This is how the variation is done. Continue. And so if I want 300 questions, you know what to do. I get here, where is it? So if I want, let me finish with this one. I have imported the 4 questions, so I can preview them. So this means this question is given 12x y prime equal to what? I expect the answer to be 12. Yeah. The next question, let me see what question I'm getting. Given y equal to 16x, y prime is supposed to be what? Just 16. The next question, I have y equal to 10x, y prime is what? So if I want 300 questions, it means I'll have to get as 301. Don't forget, because you are getting 300 questions, these numbers here must increase as well. So I can say 2 to 320. It's just a simple power rule derivative. I don't really care what happens. This will generate 300 questions, and these are the answers to the 300 questions. You upload, and then you are free to have variations done. So I hope you can try the variation for true and false for the multiple choices, and then the clones. Stay tuned for the next sessions.